right, good morning once again and welcome to this exciting conversation. This morning we were touching on a topic that's at the heart of business growth, brand success and industry evolution, and that is marketing. And what better way to explore this than through Nairobi Marketers Night? And that's a gathering that brings together some of the sharpest minds in the industry. And joining me this morning is Lenny Ng'ang'a, CEO of Saracen Marketing Group, and Melanie Msengezi, Country Director at GOtv Kenya. We'll be unpacking what this event is all about, why it matters, and how marketing professionals and businesses can leverage such platforms to stay ahead in a competitive world. Let's get right in and welcome to the show. Lenny, I want us to start with you. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is the Nairobi Marketers Night, and how did it come into play?
Thank you, Anne. The Nairobi Marketers Night is an evening where marketers get together to share knowledge about the industry, about the trends in the industry, and to network and get to know each other. So the most important thing is about people sharing the knowledge they have.
Yeah.
Because this is one of the few forums where we actually have the opportunity to do that, because we don't have like a formal way of actually sharing like practical experiences of things that are happening in the industry. So that's why the Marketers Night Out does this and does this very well. They have themed nights, and we pick different themes in marketing that are relevant to the day or things that are trending at the moment. And they get in speakers like myself and Melanie to come and talk about areas in which we have developed expertise.
Take us through the themes.
So themes could be like, for example, right now, the things that are very pertinent to the industry or things that are trending right now. Of course, there's things like influencer marketing. There's areas like data-driven marketing, how to leverage that. There's, of course, the digital marketing and the evolution of things like search and how search is changing from the normal, how we used to see it as Google now. When AI agents have come in, they're changing the way we do search. The younger generation is using video search a lot more than word search, and those kind of trends that are happening at the moment. So we're able to share those and elevate the knowledge of the marketing community.
All right. Melanie, how has this evolved since its debut in 2020? I remember there was one held in 2020, the Marketers Night Out in Nairobi, and I believe that was the first ever. So how has it evolved, and what makes this edition different from the previous ones?
Okay. I think in terms of evolving, it started small with a small number of people coming through, and over the years we continue to see compounded growth in terms of attendance, which means greater insights and deeper discussions of pertinent topics. I have also seen Marketers Night Out going out of Nairobi, being in different other places, and that even makes it much better in that people are interacting and learning from each other. It's very critical that that happens. Over the years, the topics also become more and more advanced, which is what we all need, practicality in the way we work each year. What I like is the fact that the Marketers Night Out is very constant, as in you know that it is happening. That way you're actually keeping up with current discussions.
For how many days will this go for?
It's a night, Marketers Night Out,
Just
so
night?
it's just one night.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, Melanie, you are someone actively shaping the digital landscape. How would you say that this is very crucial for marketers today and that they should attend this?
Yes, marketers should attend because, as you can see, there's a lot happening in the tech landscape. It's moving very fast, and what it brings is a lot of opportunities for people to understand where they can get efficiencies in how they do their marketing. There's now Gen AI. What are the tools that the marketing fraternity and even just entrepreneurs or business people can use in this day and age so that their businesses become more profitable, more efficient, and produce more at a very fast pace.
Right.
Yeah.
Lenny, what are some of the gaps that are there in this marketing industry that events like this are looking to fill?
In fact, one of them is my topic, what I'm going to be talking about at the Marketers Night Out. And that is measuring marketing return on investment. That is something that has not been done very well in this industry. And with the evolution of technology, as Melanie has said, things are moving so fast, we get so many data points now, it is actually possible to start developing really good measurement of return on investment. So that is one of the biggest pieces that I've seen, and that's something I'm very passionate about, because I believe marketing is a serious force for growth. But it's only if we're able to measure it. And when marketers are sitting in the boardrooms, have a voice and show that they're actually contributing significantly to business growth.
This year's theme is leveraging media and marketing to drive economic growth. Leni, why was this theme chosen, and how does it relate to the current economic landscape?
Well, the current economic landscape, as we all know, is not optimal at the moment. But we do see great opportunities for Kenyan brands and the industries in Kenya to better their marketing, to be able to get much more growth and connect better with the people or their customers or consumers. If we look at, for example, like the recent Super Bowl in America, one 30-second ad was going for $8 million. And it was sold out in November last year. It happened, I think, 2 weeks ago. It was sold out in November last year because the American companies understand the power of marketing and what it drives for them. And you can see a lot of brands that travel globally. American brands are the foremost of that. If you look at companies like Apple, Nike, all those, and they put a lot of effort behind their marketing. So we are seeing that marketing as a force for economic growth is something that's been underestimated in this market, and we would love to get that elevated.
All right. Melanie, over the last decade, the video marketing, will say it has evolved tremendously. From where you sit, what has been the biggest transformation when it comes to marketing?
For me, it's where people are now integrating tech with marketing. So you find that people are really making sure that they are getting to a point where they are able to produce their videos in a more efficient way using tech tools. They are able actually to produce more content actually at a lower cost and be able to make sure that the content is still bringing that personalization, is still being authentic. And so for us, it's really important for marketing people to be looking at these tools and investing in them so that they can do much more with less resources coming out, yes.
We see some critics arguing that video saturation has become quite hard for brands to stand out, right? So would you say we've reached a tipping point, or there's still room for innovation?
I believe there's still room for innovation. The world is such a vast area in terms of the type of customers that we have. Segmentation comes into play. Young people have affinity for content that is creative. I think the issue is more of how much more creative can we be to maintain our audiences engaged. I believe that different brands actually know how to do that. You see young people are attracted to different forms of media, forms of content. All that comes into play. So it's the role of the marketers now to understand critically who their customer is and continue being creative in that space.
I want us to talk about now this consumer behavior. Leni, from where you sit, what have you seen in terms of how now consumers engage with in regards to traditional media, that is text or just images, as compared to now videos, seeing it as it is? Well,
I said that the consumption of whether it's going to be video or audio is still pretty much the same. The issue is how. How are they accessing it? So like now, for example, audio for a long time, like radio would be scheduled programming. You have a breakfast show, you have your mid-morning and so on. But people who want to listen to particular content want to go to things like podcasts and so on. So people will want to listen a lot more on demand. And that is what is shaping different behavior because of the digital economy. For TV, the same thing is happening. Are people watching as much on their normal TV sets, or are they shifting now to, well, there's going to be their handset, their mobile handset, or there's going to be like on their computers? And that is what is shifting in that sense. So people's behavior is being changed by technology, as Melanie said. Because when people like Netflix came into the market, people now started expecting to be able to stream their shows when they want and consume them as and when they need to, not necessarily at the pace that is dictated to them by the broadcaster. So that consumption is actually going up, but the platforms are becoming so many, so the audiences are becoming smaller and smaller on each of the mediums that we used to have captive to a lot of people before.
So it's no longer viable to use these traditional methods?
It still is viable.
Okay.
It also depends on how you use it. And one thing that I tell my clients is you have to up the quality of your communication now. Because to stand out in all these cluttered messages that are going out to your customer, your consumer every day, you have to have some really good messaging and well-crafted advertising messaging that's going out. The other thing that has also changed quite significantly is, as I said, the influencer marketing part of it. A lot of the younger generation now trust other people more than they trust brands. So when somebody else endorses something, somebody who they trust, they believe that a lot more than a message coming from the brand. So that's why influencer marketing has become a lot more important now and is continuing to grow in importance.
Amazing. I know they'll come to learn this at the Marketers Night Out, but take us through some of the elements that are very crucial and make video content very impactful.
What I would say is in terms of video content, I think for me it's making sure that it resonates culturally with the people that you're targeting. Video content for me is if it's supposed to be comical, what else are you adding onto it that makes the people understand what the main message is. I was reading something just last week around the big idea. It's a method that has been used by marketers, for a very long time, like in the 60s, by people like David Ogilvy and stuff like that. So you find that they still believe that right now, those concepts are still the same. You just have to have a big idea about the messaging that you're putting as you are creating your content. I only took onto TikTok recently, and I've just realized that if the big idea is there's something about each element of content that is being produced and that is being sent out. And once that resonates, you are able to actually follow through in terms if there's a call to action or if it's informative, you understand the key insights and stuff like that. So it's for me, it's about the messaging. Video, sometimes even if you are just hearing the audio, you can imagine what is happening on that video. The sound is also equally important. The way sometimes on YouTube when an advert comes in the middle, there's a certain even ring, what can I say, the sound that comes out of an advert that you can say, I know this brand, I know that brand, without you even watching it. So all those elements come into play, how you deliver to the senses of the target audience. So yeah, it's very critical to have that big idea in the middle of your messaging so that it makes sense to the audience.
So delivery, you say, plays a very big role, even better than the visual content itself.
I believe so. It's a combination. It's a combination, and once you get it right, then you're getting the message home.
All right.
Yes.
Lenny, they say that when a video goes viral, it's the ultimate goal for businesses. Would you say it's about consistency or virality of this, whatever they're marketing?
Well, virality, as I said, is something that people chase a lot, and it's not very easy to get there. But it has to be something that culturally connects with people and does something that makes them want to share that content. So it has to be something that stands out, or something that either makes people really laugh, or something that makes people see things from a different perspective, or just something that's really interesting or is dramatized in a very nice way that makes people want to share this content.
So it still comes back to consistency, because if now the video goes viral, they don't leave it at that. They have to come back and post another one. So is it really about something going viral and leaving it at that, or now maintaining consistency of whatever you are selling or marketing? Melanie?
I was hoping that I'm not the one to answer, but I can take it, and then Lenny, you can add. But for me, I think when something goes viral, I believe it is the audience in control more than you, the business. You know, but for me, the key would be understand what made it go viral, what resonated, what did the people really think in terms of why I should share this video. So why should I share it when I watch it? Yeah, if we, the brands, then understand those, we can try and replicate. But it's been very rare for me to see one video going viral from one brand and then the next post, it also goes viral. Sometimes it's just one of those, you know, opportunities that comes, and after a long time, another one might come. Yeah, so I've never really seen, you know, like all the time consistency in things going out and being viral. I don't know, Lenny, your thoughts on that?
I would say, like any advertiser's first goal, of course, the consistency should be there, because you have to align all your communication to the brand values and what it is you want to communicate. If then something goes viral as a result of that, then that is a good hit. But you should always be consistent about the brand messaging that you're putting out.
Melanie, you mentioned something quite interesting, that you don't see, if a video has gone viral, it doesn't happen consistently. So what should this brand marketer do to ensure that there's consistency in how these videos of theirs are going viral or are getting a bigger reach?
This is where sometimes research comes into play. You know, get focus groups coming on, try and get the insights, try and understand the customer's thinking process, and try and connect who that segment and the brand at that particular point, what was triggered, so that they share it. That shareability, you have to understand it. So research could actually be one way to try and help the brand.
So it's upon a brand to do due diligence.
Yes.
All right, amazing. Lenny, you mentioned something about marketers' return on investment. If you're talking about virality and consistency and how a marketer or a brand gets the amount of reach that they get, is that a measure of return on investment? Can we use it to measure it in that way?
That is one component of it. Of course, the higher reach you have, the more chances you have of converting a customer into an action that you want them to take. But it's about a lot more. It's about the business goals of the organization and how marketing is helping to achieve those. So if it's going to be, your objective is higher sales, then it's about relating the marketing investment into how much marketing is actually driving in terms of sales. If it's about changing people's behavior, it's about as well using research to find out what was the behavior before, what is the behavior after, what did we change. So that is the return on investment is about looking at it in terms of, I'm investing this much in marketing. These are the goals of the organization. How has marketing contributed to these goals?
All right. You know, some argue that shorter videos, let's say under 60 seconds, for instance, are more effective than longer ones. Is this always the case? And if you're advising a marketer or a brand advertiser, how long maybe should the videos be?
The current statistics actually show that the capacity of people to engage is in the first, sometimes 3 seconds, sometimes 7 seconds. So for me, how I would put it out there is, whenever you're creating your video content, once you have your big idea, once you have the problem you're trying to solve, how can you capture the first few seconds for them to go to that 1 minute or that 2 minutes that you would have recorded? So it's really about you now saying, how do I make sure that the first 3 seconds have high impact it takes them to the next 7 seconds, and then it takes them further beyond that.
Yeah.
So for me, I believe that as the marketing fraternity, we have a big challenge to make sure that we are understanding the dynamic in terms of what makes our audience be engaged and remain engaged in those first few seconds. Yeah.
Lenny, what would you say about that? I understand it comes down to people's attention span being so little. So what would you advise for someone who, just a brand marketer, whenever they want to now put their brand out there?
Be interesting.
Yes.
Very important. Just be interesting. Don't be the usual stuff, just shouting your company name and everything the first 5 seconds before we hit that skip button. Be very interesting. I mean, like research that was done here in Kenya, I think it was by Kantar, showed that one of the most loved ads on YouTube by Kenyans was for Guinness, the Supers of Congo. And it's a long ad, but it's really interesting. And that's what people love to see. So you have to be really interesting and engage them. As Melanie said, but you have to get their attention. Those first 3 seconds are critical before they decide to hit that skip button.
I want us to talk about algorithm, because the success sometimes of video marketing always depend on how well a brand understands algorithm, right? So in your experience, what are the key algorithm factors brands should prioritize, Melanie? I see you want to, to run away from that question.
No, I can't run away from that because, I mean, from the tech background, yes, we understand when people change algorithms and stuff like that. Yeah. But for me, it's just to make sure that in terms of your target audience, you are understanding it, and even when you are putting up your ads on any platform, you know, there are basic questions like, you know, who are you targeting, the age, where they stay and stuff like that. That also contributes to, depending on the platform that you have chosen, whatever new algorithm they have set, if you understand that algorithm and what you are putting in terms of setting up your video, it's going to impact who's going to see it, how many times they're going to see it, and stuff like that. So if you, as the marketing person, is behind in terms of understanding the changes on that platform, then you might fall backwards. Yeah. So you find that it's very critical for one to understand how each platform works, because they're totally different, and one has to learn what to do on X, what to do on Facebook, how to do it on YouTube and stuff like that.
Again, be interesting.
Yes, yes.
Like Lenny had said. And now you see there are also some brands that feel very frustrated when the organic reach now declines. Now, how can they adapt and still remain visible without excessive ad spending? Lenny.
So that would be interesting, because a lot of the platforms why they change their algorithms is because they want to monetize the advertising. So like Facebook was one that actually made that biggest change, and a lot of people were stranded. So now because they have forced you now to pay for your posts. So what then you would have to do is look at which other platforms are your customers consuming, and seeing how you can make the best use of those platforms that do not necessarily need you to spend so much. So it's about also understanding, as Melanie said, you understand the dynamics of each platform, how each platform prioritizes your advertising or content, and working with that and looking at your CPMs, which are the basically cost per thousand people that you're reaching on each platform. So you have to look at it and see how you're going to optimize that across different platforms.
You know, some say that sometimes when you pay for these ads, whatever you're trying to market will always be on the top page of whichever platform you're using. Is this the case?
You can pay, yes, especially when it comes to search. You can pay now to be highly ranked.
Priority.
Yes. But as you said, search is changing. So now we're seeing like the younger generation is using things like TikTok a lot more for search. So it's no longer about you pay for now search results to stand out there. So it has to be the kind of content now you're generating through your creators. Be interesting.
Because TikTok, do they really also pay for these ads, or TikTok it's about, because you know I love the fact that you said be interesting, and that is what we see most on TikTok. So do they also use ads when it comes to TikTok? Because I know Facebook, YouTube, not really YouTube, Instagram, X ads are used. Is that the case for TikTok as well? Melanie?
Yes, that is the case. I mean, many platforms want to monetize, and they'll go all out to make sure that they achieve their monetization objectives. Yeah.
Let's talk about data now. Beyond views, likes, what deeper metrics should brands now tap into to ensure that they're tracking their videos well and also gauging how they're performing in terms of marketing their products?
Okay. At Go My Code, when we take our students through the issue of KPIs, it's really dependent on the initial objective of what you're doing and which platform you're going on. So the KPIs vary for each ad that is going out. Most marketing people, I guess, would be looking at, how many views are we getting? How long the people stayed on our video? Is it the 10 seconds? Is it the 30 seconds? All those things can be measured. Are you looking at, the conversions at the end of the day? Was your ad really aimed at making sure that we get conversions? So sometimes it's just brand awareness, and sometimes it's just saying, we want to make the money. So whatever our ad is going to do, we want to count how much money came into the pocket. So it's really a matter of looking at the whole marketing funnel and saying, what is our objective? Where are we in this whole, in the funnel, and which platform are we using? And then you pick those KPIs. So it all depends what the objective is. So I believe that a marketing person should set those objectives prior to the campaign, which really helps also in terms of the media that they then select for it and where their audience is in terms of media.
All right. Lady, maybe you can also weigh in on that, how brands can now gauge video success away from the likes, away from the views. What else can be used now?
I'll just add on to what Melanie said. Whenever you're doing a brand campaign or a campaign for a product or a brand, you need to have a measurement framework. What are we tracking? What do we want this campaign to achieve? Is it going to be, we want to achieve sales, we want to achieve knowledge, or we want to achieve awareness of it? So you have to have a measurement framework against which you're going to then measure everything before the campaign and after the campaign. So you're able to see the movement in that. Things like the likes and so on, those are nice metrics to just understand whether your content is connecting. But when it comes to business effects, you need to have that measurement framework in place and have it very clear before you start a campaign.
We have to agree that not all industries are tapping into media and marketing in this space, that now we have technology here and we're trying to also just grow these brands that we have. So they're still underestimating the power of video and marketing the brand on social media. Do you know such industries maybe? I know maybe mentioning them can go above,
I'm not sure.
above
It's a
and
good
beyond.
idea.
But now what can they do to also tap into this space? Because, we can't really understand why some are not tapping into this as much as media marketing is doing great stuff for marketers and brands. So what can they do, Melanie?
I think it's for each industry to look at the process in terms of why they would need to be on media. So sometimes we are quick to say they are not there. Why are they not there? But it could be that in the background they have other means of reaching out to their target audience. They have, for instance, I know B2B came quite late into this whole game. It was more of business to consumer, because consumer is trying to connect with you, come to my store, or come and see how I process this, your clothing and stuff like that. So it really depends on where they believe that their audience is and how they reach that audience. Yes. However, I would say you know, everybody is welcome to this Marketers Night Out to learn more and be able for them to then discuss with those who have been in this game to say how can they also be on board and how can they leverage on technology to help them better. Because sometimes in industry, for example, okay, I didn't want to mention, but there are some industries that don't just market themselves. People just look for them, or maybe their policies actually do not support them, trying to say, come to me, I'm the best maybe doctor, I'm the best lawyer and stuff like that. But there are means and ways that they can also be bringing their brands out there so that people know them from a point of view of awareness, from a point of view of if I need support, this is where I can actually go and receive it, versus how the consumer brands go about it, you know, in terms of I'm the best quality, I'm the best taste and stuff like that. So yeah, it will be great discussions if as many people come to the Marketers Night Out.
Lenny, would you say that maybe for industries that are not yet into media marketing, it's because of lack of knowledge or maybe technology illiteracy, if I would say so? I know the Marketers Night Out is here for all these people, and maybe you can take us through that.
All right, I wouldn't generalize it, but what I would say is that depending on the industry, as Melanie said, it depends on the industry that they're in. But I believe everybody can benefit from a push in marketing. And I believe one of the reasons why a lot of companies may not necessarily be coming onto the marketing side and actively pushing their brands or their services might be because they don't understand how it's going to drive their business, or it has not been shown to them. As you know, a lot of companies in our part of the world are led by people who have a finance background. So if you're not showing that this money that you're going to put into marketing is going to bring in more money, then you're not going to have the company doing marketing activities. They'd say, we'd rather put that into people selling on the ground, or we'll put it into something else, like a different, like a wholesale incentive program, that kind of thing. So unless they understand and see the results that the marketing is going to bring to them and be willing at least to experiment with it, that will still be a difficult push.
All right. Creating high quality videos, Melanie, it's an investment. We have people like these SMEs who are also trying to just leverage this technology, and sometimes it's quite hard for them. So how can they also tap into this without going overboard and breaking the banks just to fit in?
Okay. I believe that right now there are a lot of, open AI platforms where SMEs can tap into. Yeah, you have packages that are, free for everyone. Then, because you want high quality and you want it to go commercial, you can even have paid entry-level amounts that SMEs can also take advantage of in terms of, creating their videos. There's also, these days even good quality phones can do those recordings very well and get young people to edit for you. There's many ways to do it online, as long as you understand the AI tools that will help you create that quality video. Yes.
Melanie has mentioned about just phones that are not high-end stuff. And now, the budget-friendly video tools that you would recommend for somebody just starting out in this marketing industry.
Well, there are so many right now. It is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've seen a lot of guys creating with things like CapCut. So they're accessible, and some of them they have the freemium model. There's a free model, then there's a premium model that you can use. So there is a lot out there now that has brought down the cost of producing high quality content in that regard. So I'd urge people to go out and experiment with them. But the key thing is they have to understand what it is that their customer is going to connect with. Yeah.
I want us to...
You can go low cost, but and you produce something, but it's not connecting. Yeah. So you have to really put your consumer, your customer at the heart of all that you're doing when you're doing the communications. And even if you're producing these video ads or maybe audio ads, put them at the center and make sure you connect with them.
Let's go back to the comment on return on investment. From its perspective, how long does it typically take for a business to see tangible results from marketing now that you're in this space? And I understand that you're pros in this. How long does it take?
It depends as well on the product and the purchase cycle, and also where the product, the brand is in terms of the life cycle. Like for example, I was involved, we created a campaign some years ago for a mosquito net from Sumitomo Chemical. And it took us 3 months to get to 21% market share of the premium nets, but because it was a launch.
Yeah.
So it's about looking at and starting to understand how the marketing affects the sales. If you're using, like, say, a wholesaler model, it might take longer. If you're using like a direct to consumer model where people can actually maybe like click to buy, that you can track immediately. So, so depending on the life cycle and the platform and the model that you're using, it will differ. But the key thing is just to start understanding it and start tracking it and understand how it works for your industry.
Melanie, you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, I can weigh in on what Len is saying. And I think he had even mentioned to say it depends with your objectives and your measuring of the before and after. I have created campaigns, 7-day campaigns, and you measure your return on investment within that 7 days. There can be campaigns that run 3 months, and within 3 months, you would have set a budget and targets to say within 3 months, this investment should give us this amount of conversions or these KPIs that we have set. So yeah, it varies with the main objective at the beginning and the impact. A lot of people also do Christmas sales that is very short during Christmas, those campaigns, and they must bring a return. So you put in this amount of money for your Christmas campaign, this is how much it must generate for you.
For someone who's watching now or just joining us, what is the target audience for the Marketers Night Out and why should they attend? Melanie.
Yes, everyone who is in marketing is welcome. The CEOs, the finance directors, they're all welcome because marketing is an engine that is critical in any business, whether you are a startup, whether you are running your own business, and whether you're a big corporate. This Marketers Night Out, I believe that everybody who is in any form of business and who is looking to grow, who's looking to understand the current trends so that they can also benefit from them should attend this event. Yeah.
Lenny, since its inception, what impact has it had on the marketing industry since I want us to focus on the Nairobi chapter since 2020. What impact has it had?
Well, I would say it has brought marketers together, enabled people to share a lot more, and to get people, I would say, cleverer and wiser through the sharing of knowledge in that respect, and bringing to the fore industry matters that are then later followed up through other channels.
So what should marketers expect this year, Melanie?
Marketers should expect a lot of discussions around media, the tech space. I think that's what they should expect, and practical ways that they can adopt, when they are back in the offices. Because for me, it's about whenever you go out to meet other people, what practical tips can you make sure that you are going to implement?
I know that you two are some of the speakers there, but who else should we be expecting? You say you also have a packed show there for them. Speeches are there, presentations. Who are the other speakers available for this event?
I know there's Dr. Wale Akinyemi, and I think James Ogoti, Nation Media Group.
All right. Talk to us about the available networking opportunities for Marketers Night Out.
Yes, definitely there will be lots of networking opportunities. What I would encourage the audience is, instead of coming when the program is starting at 3 o'clock, come earlier. Come 30 minutes earlier, start introducing yourself, start networking, start talking to people. During the course of the event, take opportunity to ask or share your insights so that everybody benefits.
You mentioned something about AI when we're talking about SMEs. And you know, somebody might be watching now and he or she has a small business and they're just starting out and they're not understanding how really AI works when it comes to trying to put your brand on the map. So how exactly does AI work for these brands to put them out there? Melanie, and then Lenny can weigh in. Now that you're the one who mentioned it.
Okay, so maybe let me just give 2 examples. It depends what they are trying to do. If it's about getting their message out there, you have tools like ChatGPT that they can use to generate good text, verify their call to action. You have things like Microsoft Designer for if you want to do your design and graphics in your ad. We have tools like Framer for website development. So it really depends what they want to achieve. But what is critical is when they come to the Marketers Night Out, we'll talk about these tools. We'll talk about how they can integrate them into their businesses. Yes.
Lenny?
The AI tools, I would say, artificial intelligence, what they bring to the table, they've been trained. A lot of people have invested time and money into putting a lot of data into these platforms so that they start knowing what works and what doesn't work. So they're actually able to offer advice on that level, but you still, of course, have to have a human element to sense check it and see whether it's correct. I'm sure you've seen some AI ads that have come out, people have 3 hands or 6 fingers. So you have to sense check those things. So the AI is a great tool actually to help you align your thinking, but then you have to bring in the human element and just make sure that it's well aligned and it's realistic. Because sometimes AIs do have what they call hallucinations.
Absolutely. Melanie, maybe at the Marketers Night Out, will they be having an opportunity to also learn how to use AI? Now, we can't assume that everyone knows how to use AI. Maybe ChatGPT, like you say, we have maybe people from, let's talk about Mashinani, because you know we are 47 counties. And let's talk about somebody watching us from at the Mashinani grassroots level. You said you don't understand Swahili. From the grassroots level, yeah? And they're expecting to come into Marketers Night Out on the 28th. Are they expecting also classes around AI?
Looking at the program, they might not have classes around AI in detail, but in terms of what I'll be talking about on the day is, just a few demonstrations of some of the things that we teach in, Gen AI for their benefit. But definitely, I'll definitely be inviting them to our school, Go My Code. I'll definitely invite them there because we have different courses that we offer that support somebody learning from basic coding all the way to AI, the tools. We also have advanced digital marketing that we offer. So, a lot of things I'll be able to, share with them what we offer. But in terms of the day Marketers Night Out, it will be high level talking about them and how they can, harness onto the tools that would have presented to them. Yes.
Amazing. Maybe you can now tell us now the snippets of what you'll be talking about, what they should look forward to even as they prepare to join you for this edition.
So in terms of my topic, I'm really looking at bridging tech and marketing, really, and strategies for inclusive growth. So that's what I'll be just talking around, just saying what else in your current field of marketing, how can you make sure that you are taking advantage of tech and bringing out those elements to the people who will be attending. Yes.
Bridging tech, all right, and marketing.
Yes.
Amazing,
yes.
Amazing stuff. Lenny, how about you? Talk us through whatever you'll be talking about on the 28th during the Nairobi Marketers Night Out.
Thank you, Anne. I'll be talking about marketing return on investment. Talk about why it's so important to measure it and to get it right, how to get it right, and when we do get it right, how this is going to change our industry.
Why is it important to measure it?
It's because marketing, as I said, is a great force for growth.
Yeah.
Because even if I was to ask you what your favorite brands are, I don't know how many of them would be Kenyan brands. They'd probably be international brands. So, and you've seen now those brands are made in countries very far away from us, but they've managed to get all around the world. If we are going to build Kenya and the Kenyan economy and onto a global scale, we have to excel at marketing.
Yes.
Even from something as prosaic as, as basic as our tourism. How do we market our tourism? How well are we doing it? And how much are we measuring in terms of return on investment from like the budget that we give for the tourism bodies? You've
talked about now why it's important to measure, and you've said you're also going to talk about how to measure it.
Yes.
Tuambie tu kidogo.
How to measure it now, because what is really happening today, because of technology, there are so many data points that we have. It's about integrating our data points and putting them together into a system that we can actually start analyzing this data and correlating it with the marketing data, putting those two together and seeing what the results are. The marketing data is also there. So it's just, and the business data on this other side, those two for a long time have not been put together, except maybe for a few multinational corporations who do it. So they've not been put together in a way that enables us to accurately measure what the return is. And the one thing is, return on investment is not just short term. There's a short term, which is now, buy now, but there's a longer term one, which is actually a lot bigger than the short term one. And that's the other one that a lot of companies don't measure. Even the ones who do measure some return on investment, they measure the short term. So I'll be talking about also the two of them, short term and long term.
We are looking forward to be there. Melanie, who are the main partners and sponsors of this event, and are you getting the support that you need? Because when you're talking about Marketers Night Out, this is the Nairobi edition and it goes beyond Kenya. Are you getting the support that you need? And also you can now talk to us about the partners that you have on board.
Okay, in terms of partners on board, they have come out in terms of, you know, to support the event. Maybe I could list some of them, or if you remember offhand, but I know Safaricom is on board in terms of supporting the Marketers Night Out. Lenny, do you remember some of the...
and TV47?
Yes, and TV47 is here. You're supporting us. You're marketing this across all counties, which is great.
As we come to the tail end of this conversation, talk to us about the tickets, how much you're charging for this particular event. Lenny?
I know a single ticket is going for 3,500. And that includes, of course, the talks, there's dinner, and then thereafter, I think Mr. Colombo, who's the proprietor of Marketing Africa, always organizes for people to have a good time, dance and so on. So that's part of the networking and people enjoying themselves out.
Fun and games even beyond it. Are there plans to expand Nairobi Marketers Night Out to other regions, to the 47 counties, maybe the remaining 46? Do you have those plans, Melanie?
I believe the plans are there to expand, not knowing when the rollout will be in terms of being whether in Nairobi, Mombasa and all the other counties, but I believe those are on the table.
Lenny, what will be your next stop if these plans bear fruit? If not Nairobi, where else are you taking Marketers Night Out?
Well, I would say that would be Mr. Colombo's plan. But I do know, of course, Kampala is there. I know probably Dar es Salaam will be on the cards as well. At least within East Africa, maybe the greater East Africa, will expand to that. Maybe at some point we hope we want to get to places like Addis Ababa.
All right. Addis Ababa. Okay. We were there also competing for that, the AUC seat, and I love that you mentioned it. The Nairobi Marketers, like we mentioned, of course, was last held here in 2020. Are you doing this after every 5 years in Nairobi, or this was just coincidental that it's happening in 2025 after 2020? Melanie, and then Lenny can weigh in.
I'm not sure on that one in terms of the 5-year gap.
I believe it's been running.
It's been running.
It's been running, At least I think every quarter.
Every quarter.
It's been running,
So we should expect another one for those who won't be able to catch it?
Yes.
All right. Maybe your final remarks as we close?
For me, my final remarks is in terms of marketers out there, come through. There is a lot that we can all achieve when we, have a learning mindset, especially with tech really evolving fast. This is our moment to make sure that our businesses stay afloat, they are not closed. And also just to demystify the issue of Gen AI. It's not here to kill us, it's not here to take our jobs. It will actually, according to the World Economic Forum report, it actually says it will create more jobs than it will kill. So whilst there will be jobs that will be lost, yes, what are we doing as marketers to make sure that we transition into the tech space? What are we doing as businesses to be more efficient so that we have people working for us for a longer period because we have capacitated them in the tech area? Yeah.
All right. Lenny, your final remarks in regards to Marketers Night Out?
Yeah, I'd like people, please take the opportunity to come, learn, meet other people. And as I say, in today's world, if you're not learning, you're standing still. And if you're standing still, you're being left behind.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Lenny Nganga, CEO, Sarasin Marketing Group, and Melanie Msengezi, Country Director of GOtv Kenya, for being here to have this conversation with us and to just let our viewers know that it's okay to leverage in the media industry in terms of marketing their brand. That brings us to the end of this conversation. Thank you so much for watching, and it also brings us to the end of Morning Cafe. See you tomorrow, once again, at 6 a.m. Have a good day and good morning.